Welcome to the Master of Science webinar. So I'm here to tell you what this course is all about, what you'll be studying and so on. So let's get going now. So Macquarie is all about deep science offering, focusing on innovation and leadership, especially this Master of Science program, which is going to start new from next semester, that is 2017 semester 1. After a brief overview on what this MSc is about, we'll focus on the key features, what you can study, and why do this course Master of Science at Macquarie, who is eligible to study this program, any English language requirements, the course overview and recognition of prior learning, as well as fees, career opportunities, and who to contact if you need some more information. Well, the Master of Science program is designed to provide training and an immersive experience in how to take cutting-edge ideas in scientific discipline from conception through development to realization. We are focusing on taking ideas and innovations to industry. And this is therefore a very brand new course, and I don't think we have anything to compare it with. Most of the innovation and leadership courses are run by management schools, but this is run by the Faculty of Science. So we are focusing on scientists. We are scientists, and we are trying to help you to take an idea to the market. So it builds skills on entrepreneurship, leadership, and innovation, and they apply to a range of scientific disciplines in STEM, that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, supported by advanced technologies. This offering is full-time, but for domestic students, we are happy to take a part-time enrollment, and it will be located at the North Ryde campus where I'm sitting right now. And we hope to start in session 1, February, but there will also be intake into session 2 directly from July in 2017. And then thereafter, we will have a 2-semester entry program in the years that follow. This is a multidisciplinary program, and we hope to equip you with specialized knowledge and skills to create and develop innovative practical ideas in your chosen area of science, technology, and statistics. Besides leadership, innovation, and entrepreneurship, there will be advanced disciplinary study in an area of your choice. And we offer you several possibilities for this. This is coming up in the next slide. An essential component is also an industry-based internship for real-world innovation in practice, or a research-based internship for first-hand experience in world-leading research laboratories. And this can be carried out in your place of work if you're already working in an science-based industry or at one of the research labs that are in Sydney. So you will be taught by academics, entrepreneurs, as well as science leaders. The core of the program features units on leadership, entrepreneurship, and innovation in STEM, and that is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. And the capstone of this program is this extensive internship project that I mentioned earlier on. A range of specializations are offered for completing the rest of the units in the specialized scientific discipline, and these can be from biological sciences, chemistry and biomolecular sciences, earth and planetary sciences, environmental sciences, information science, technology, and statistics. Students will need to choose any one of these areas of specialization to enroll in their masters. Macquarie offers this unique Master of Science degree by adding a valuable internship component to the course. It's a first of its kind unit in leadership and entrepreneurship in Australia, and we hope to provide unparalleled grounding in core skills for industry and research success. So during the internship, students will carry out work in an industry, research or developmental organization or a world-leading academic research lab suited to the specialization chosen. The internship benefits would be hands-on work experience, developing skills in research innovation, and networking with mentors and professionals in the industry, which will therefore augur well for your future. So who can study this program? Do you already have an undergraduate degree? Then that's wonderful. If you're already working in a scientific discipline, that should be sufficient as well. And the minimum admission requirements are an Australian Level 7 bachelor's qualification or the recognized equivalent, and GPA of 4.5 out of the 7-point scale. If you have GPA in another scale, our university will be able to convert it to the scale so we can see whether you qualify and how you fare relative to what is required. We also have an English language requirement for those coming from a non-English speaking background, and this is the same for all undergraduate and postgraduate studies at Macquarie. You will need to satisfy the standard English language requirements if you have completed secondary studies in English equivalent to the New South Wales HSC, such as A-levels or an international baccalaureate, 1 year of Australian or comparable tertiary study in a country of qualification, and then an IELTS score of 6.5 overall with a minimum of 6 in each band or equivalent for international students from non-English speaking countries. And the university will be able to advise you whether you do need this qualification or not. So applicants from certain countries may be exempt from IELTS if they are classified as an English speaking country. And that is available for clarification from the university's website. So this course on its own is run by the Faculty of Science and Engineering, and at the end of the course you will be awarded a Master of Science degree, and it has a CRICOS course as given on the slide, and the admission requirements we already went through, and the English language proficiency. Study modes are part-time and full-time. Part-time, unfortunately, is only available to domestic students, and the attendance mode is internal. Overall, the candidature length is 2 years, and if you get RPL, it could be reduced to as little as 1 year, provided you have covered sufficient course material that will make you eligible for the RPL, that is recognition of prior learning. And the commencement is session 1 at North Ryde and session 2 at North Ryde for all domestic and international candidates. And the volume of learning is equivalent to 2 years full-time study. The minimum number of credit points for a master's degree are 64, and at the 600 level, that is the basic foundation level, it's 16. And if you do have an undergraduate degree in exactly the same area that you wish to do your master's, you might have covered some of these 600 level units and can be considered for RPL. And similarly, the master's level program requires you to have 48 credit points at the 800 or above level. This is called graduate units. And if you have already done a graduate study elsewhere by coursework, we can check whether you qualify for some RPL there as well. The maximum RPL possible is 16 at the 600 level and 16 at the 800 level, which effectively reduces your load to the equivalent of 1 year full-time. RPL is subject to approval by the Department of Specialization, and we might request you to provide details of the courses you've already undertaken. And what are these courses? Besides the 600 level courses that you might study, we have core units for this Master of Science program that all students will undertake whatever their area of specialization. They will be undertaking FOSE 804, which is Leadership in Science Research and Innovation, for 4 credit points. This is run in the first semester, followed by a second semester unit, FOSE 805, Entrepreneurship and Innovation in Science and Technology. And at the end of one semester, you could undertake the Science Innovation Internship, which is 16 credit points, but we are mainly offering it from 2017 unless there is a special necessity to offer it next year. The 16 credit points is actually the equivalent of one whole semester's workload, and it can be undertaken either in semester 1 or semester 2 or during the whole year, which is like a half workload in each semester. So this is 16 credit points, and this is actually the capstone of this program. And this internship will provide you a great grounding into how ideas are actually taken, conceptualized, developed, made market ready, and then launched. So there will be a lot of activities that will help you to undertake this. Besides this, you will need to undertake 16 credit points from your chosen area of specialization, and most of the master's courses also permit you to do 8 credit points from another specialization, just to give you a rounded course. This is not true for statistics alone, where all the courses, all the units have to be covered from their statistics list, and there is a very big list of units that are available under this program. So recognition of prior learning is shown here once again, and the minimum time commitment is 1 year. Sometimes it would be 1.5 years if you've done a bachelor's degree in the relevant discipline, or you have work experience in the relevant area. But 2 years is the normal study time for this unit, and we will take a bachelor's degree in any discipline as sufficient to retrain you in this MSc program. In biological sciences, the areas that are covered are biology, biochemistry, cell biology, botany, ecology and evolution, marine science, genetics, human biology, microbiology and zoology. And under chemical and biomolecular sciences, we cover all the molecular sciences: biochemistry, biotechnology, biomolecular science, chemistry, microbiology, and molecular biology. Earth and planetary sciences similarly covers geology, geophysics, and related disciplines, while environmental science would cover science, engineering, biology, chemistry, ecology, hydrology, etc. And these are mainly environmental related disciplines. Information technology covers computer science, IT, information systems, and software engineering, while statistics will cover statistics, actuarial studies, and decision science. So in this MSc, to cut down to the chase, you will study core units, which are leadership in science, research and innovation, entrepreneurship and innovation in science and technology. That comes out to 8 credit points in all, plus the science innovation internship, which is 16. So we have covered 24 credit points so far. The rest of the course is made up of 600 level units, which are called foundation units, which you require 16. That is 4 courses, units will be covered under 16 credit points from your chosen specialization. And then the remainder will have to be covered usually from 16 from your chosen specialization at the 800 level, plus 8 from any other specializations that are offered under this master's program. This is a unique offering in Australia, and this is possibly the first university to offer this, and you will learn all about principles and models of leadership and innovation, strategic thinking and influencing behavior, the art of negotiation and conflict resolution, managing innovation, and all with a science, technology, engineering, mathematics focus. You will be able to interact with industry and research leaders to learn from the very best. We are actually put out a call with the various heads of department asking them to nominate their science and thought leaders for this course as guest lecturers. So this, once you, I think this is the same thing. So we will get on to Science FOSC 806, where you will do the Science Innovation Internship. You will gain practical knowledge in a leading science-based business or organization, and a 1-year program to develop skills and real-world exposure that will actually help you to go forward and ensure job readiness in the industry of your choice. So if you were to undertake biology, these are some of the 600 level units that have been approved by the biology department. And in this program, you can study 4 of these bio units at the 600 level, followed by 16 credit points from the 800 level units. That is 4 units have to be selected, plus 2 more, that is 8 credit point worth from one of any of the departments that are offering the master's program at the 800 or even higher 900 level courses. In chemistry and biomolecular science innovation program, you would undertake 4 of the 16 of the 600 level units for the 16 credit points at the foundation level, followed by 16 credit points at the 800 level and 8 credit points from any of the other disciplines. You can, of course, come back and do the last 2 units also from the same discipline, but that is your choice. There is no hard and fast regulation there. And in earth and planetary sciences, similarly, they have offered 4 geophysics courses at the 600 level, followed by GEOS courses at the 800 level, of which 8 of them can be done in another department if you so wish. In environmental sciences, similarly, there are several 600 level units that they have identified, including 1 unit from biology, which covers ecology. And in the 4th place, you have a choice between several allied disciplines, which would contribute to data analysis in this area, followed by 16 credit points, which are labeled ENVS and then 800, and 8 credit points from any of the other disciplines. When you come to information technology innovation, they offer a similar setup with 600 level units, quite a few of them, followed by 800 level units. And there are a number of them here, and we've tried to list as many as we could. And they also have an industry-based internship, which you could opt for if you don't want to do more courses. So that is possible. It is all with the approval of the specialization department. In the case of statistics, they require you to do 3 stat and 1 math unit at the 600 level, as well as all the other units have to come from statistics. 4 of them are specified, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the other 8 credit points could come from other statistics department units, which are all listed here. So for international students, the estimated annual fee is 32,584 Australian dollars, and there is an estimate of the living costs in Sydney. Of course, we are hoping that with the bust of the investment property cycle, we might have some better rents next year. And then we have domestic students who will be charged at 25,462 Australian dollars. There are some partial scholarships available up to $10,000 for international students, but that depends on their previous academic performance, and it's very highly competitive. But we encourage you to try because you might be lucky, and we would love to have you here. Career opportunities. We believe this program will prepare you with technical and innovation skills to work in organizations for developing new scientific or technological products in an area within science, technology, and statistics. We obviously don't have physics and engineering covered, although we have those disciplines within our faculty. It's mainly because they don't offer coursework programs at the master's level, and they are actually putting their heads together to formulate how to get this launched in the coming years. So until then, please bear with us. We only have 6 specialization disciplines. For industry professionals, this course provides a great opportunity for updating your skills for career development, and we are happy to actually accommodate people who would like to come in the afternoons or evenings. We are trying to make sure that only one late afternoon session is scheduled for on-campus sessions, but to cover the other units, you will have to negotiate with the specific department, as it were. The alternative career pathways are PhD in the specialization chosen, based on your previous education and research experience, possibly via a Masters of Research Year 2, and this of course depends on the discipline you have chosen. If you wish to pursue a research degree, then perhaps you should reconsider applying for this Masters and refer to the university's research degree website, which is given here. If you need more information, I'm happy to help you. I'm in charge of the master's program. I have a chair in bioinformatics in the chemistry and biomolecular science department. And there is Associate Professor Michael Hitchens, who is the brain and the money power behind this entire program. Michael is very helpful and will be able to advise you on how to proceed. Also, there is a big website here which gives you lots of details. So that's it for now. Thank you. There is a question here from Alison. Is there a pathway for someone who has another bachelor's degree that is not science? Yes, there is. But unfortunately, we may not be able to offer you waivers or RPL for some of the units, and you will have to enroll in the foundation units as well as the master's units for the entire degree specification. That is 2 years worth of study, and we are willing to train you in a new scientific discipline. Peter wants to know what happens to individuals whose GPL is less than 4.5. Could you take any prerequisite before enrolling in a major MSc program at your school? The cutoff is 4.5. However, if the student has a very good undergraduate degree and high marks in subjects, specific subjects that are feeder or related to the master's program, we could appeal, or we would request them to actually undertake a few extra courses if possible and then complete. I'm not sure. This depends on the department and their restrictions on how the admission would be monitored. Remember, when you enroll in an 800 level unit, you will be taught at that level, so it's going to be pretty tough, and therefore we believe you might need the background to actually do well in the course. Melanie would like to know, is the internship guaranteed in all specializations? What help will the uni give students to get the internship? We will be inviting industry partners, research labs in this Macquarie Park area as well as in other parts of Sydney to come and meet with us. And those who are already working in a scientific industry or lab can continue their research there. So we are actually putting in all efforts during the next year, especially in semester 2, to get the internship organized, starting 2018. So the university will be taking care of this. So are there any more questions? Alison has come back with another question coming from a non-science background. How detailed, extensive will be the training in the selected field? Will it prepare you to work in the field if you have not worked in any scientific field before? Alicia, this is possible from a non-science background. However, it will mean that you will have to work very hard to catch up. The foundation units are supposed to do that. That is the 600 level unit. And we would like to know whether you've had some background in science at the high school level, so you're not completely thrown at the deep end of the pool. And we are happy to work with you if you do not have a scientific background. Are there Commonwealth supported places available for domestic students? I'm not really sure. I was under the impression that this was Commonwealth supported. That means you could put it on your HEX. But at the master's level, I will need clarification on this from the university. What are the application deadlines? The application deadlines are on the master's page. I think end of November is the end of the deadline for entry into next semester, that is semester 1, starting end of February 2017. And there would be a deadline of April for intake into the second semester, if you haven't already applied by then. Why did the university decide to include innovation units? Did you consult with industry? Do you think this will help with careers? We definitely believe so. If you have heard the chief scientist last year talking about science, innovation, how the whole world has gone the scientific route and how science is lagging behind in Australia, we thought rather than just have one more discipline that trains people to do for more research, we would rather have somebody learn to do how to take a product to the market. And that we believe is what industry wants. And we have industry people, we have a management school, and we have a lot of industry liaison, and we think that this will help with careers, definitely. Alicia asks, what do you envisage are the most sought after areas of experience fields? All scientific disciplines are equally important and there are jobs in all of them. It depends on what you would like to do, what you have a natural yen for, or what you have a prior training for. If you already are comfortable in something, perhaps it wouldn't hurt to extend that and do a master's in that particular area. Melanie asks, could you let us know a little bit more about the experience of being a Macquarie University student? Well, Macquarie is not one of the old traditional universities. It's one of the 6 innovative universities that was started by the Australian government in the second round of education, higher education university building course. Macquarie is just over 51 years old. It's a very young university. It addresses multidisciplinary courses, and it also has a lot of flexible options: evening courses, weekend courses, external courses, and so on and so forth. And it is located in North Ryde. We have a train station on campus. We have a lovely shopping mall where most of the students escape to, with lots of eating places. Our university also has a very congenial atmosphere, a lot of parking spots if you come early enough. And we are very close to some of the good schools in Sydney, and we are very sought after here from that point of view. Conveniently located, it's a beautiful green campus with lots of trees, plants, places to sit, eat, read, study. We have a state-of-the-art library. We have lovely breakout places where you can study on your own, or you can form teams and study. And you can also practice your presentations and things with your students. I definitely think if I was a student, I would come to Macquarie. Alicia follows up with, is there a possibility of summer school for some of the subjects? Not at the moment, because we are just launching the program, and most of these are actually courses that the 600 level courses particularly are taught with the undergraduate offerings as extensions, and the 800 level courses are taught with other master's courses. So we don't have that many offerings for summer school at the master's level, unfortunately. If there are any new ones, we will let you know. And for the internship, Greg wants to know, would we have to find out about our own internship, or would it be allocated? It's not so undemocratic. We would actually ask you to figure out whether you would like to seek your own internship, or we will get some teams together from industry who are willing to take students and have a one-on-one interview, and then you will have the allocation done, which is comfortable to both you as well as the industry partner. Some people are already working and have asked whether they can just continue and do an internship at their place of work. Yes, if it is within our purview, which is whether it's an industry or a research organization working in science or technology, we would be very happy for you to continue your internship while you're working and do them both simultaneously. Martin asks, are there any support services specifically for master's students on campus? We have support students services for all students, undergraduate, postgraduate, and the research students, and for young academic staff, and for researchers, and for the staff members who have to teach the students. So comprehensively, we have support for all kinds of services. And I forgot to mention, we have a hospital on campus, the first private hospital in Australia. We also have an excellent GP clinic where you can rush to if you feel slightly sick. And we have a huge shopping center just across from where we are located, where you can get all your medicines from chemist shops there. There are at least 4 there. And there is a pharmacy also in the hospital itself, which is just across from where I work, which is on campus. So we have lots of facilities here for you, but we hope you're not sick and that you'll enjoy the studies here. So are we done? Are there any more questions coming up? you think of anything, you can always send an email and we will look at it and let you know an answer as soon as possible. I will be putting up something on the Commonwealth supported places as soon as possible once we have full clarification. I don't want to say something that could be wrong, so please forgive me for that, and I'll look at it and let you know ASAP. Greg would like to know, are there any explicit or invisible age limits to the program? If you want to learn, there is no limit. There is really no age limit. There might be some minimum limits because somebody has to have done a bachelor's degree or equivalent, but I don't think there is an upper age limit. And we are not restricted by age as far as Macquarie is concerned. And you will see many people who actually come back even after retirement or maybe to do 1 or 2 units just to learn for the sake of learning and to appreciate or understand a problem. So that's not a problem at all. We welcome people who are mature and who can actually work hard and learn and study and improve their backgrounds. That's fine with us. As I said, Macquarie is a very flexible university, being one of the innovative universities. Greg has a follow-up question. Was just thinking, like some recent movies which depict older interns, they are quite unusual. Not so much normal study units. That's not really true. In Macquarie, we have students who have had children, who have come back to study. Some of them are new migrants from overseas who trained in some other discipline, or there are overseas people who are lecturers in their own countries who have been nominated to study a new area here in Macquarie. So we have people of all ages, sizes and shapes. You're all welcome here and there should be no problem with that. And classically, we are not like some of the recent movies. As you can see, I'm quite old myself. So I believe the webinar is over. Thank you very much for attending and give us your feedback so we can actually improve on this. Actually, this is my first webinar, so I would like to say thank you for being very patient with me and goodbye. We look forward to hearing your questions by email. As soon as you send them, we will be able to answer them. But please do remember to fill in the questionnaire because it will help us to improve the presentation aspects of this MSc program. Thank you, and we hope that at least all of you, most of you, if not all of you, will turn up for the course and we will enjoy teaching you. Thank you. Bye-bye.